out there, esports world, and welcome to BossFight TV's The Reload, once again, episode 19. If you're counting, we're going to be talking about April 3rd through April 10th. I am known as Anti-Pro, also known as Josh Engel, and this is...
Mike Bisson, a.k.a. Mohawk Mike, bringing you all of the esports news from a very busy weekend.
Oh my god, whoever's idea it was to do all of these tournaments on Easter weekend. I hate you. I hate you with a burning passion, and I want to murder you.
Wow.
And your family.
Way to thrive in esports there, guy.
Come on, man. It's like having an event on Christmas.
Well, I thought it was cool because instead of doing like an Easter egg hunt, I could just like find, it was a hunt for Twitch TV links because I was finding all the tournaments to watch. I don't know why I went southern there.
Anyways,
so
as we start off all of our broadcasts, we're going to give a big shout out to our sponsor over at iHeart Esports. Check them out at iHeart Esports on Twitter or iHeartEsports.com. They sell sweet, awesome, cool, super happy, fun stickers. They had their special edition sticker. I guess we can talk about it now.
We can talk about it now.
There's a sweet Stefano sticker with some flames and awesomeness that you could only get if you went to IPL. So if you didn't go to IPL 4, no awesome sticker for you. And I'm not even sure if the graphics are anywhere that you can see it. So
I don't think so.
I don't know. But it's pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie. But other than that, remember, we're going to give away stickers on the show. We're going to give you a hashtag, and you're going to have to follow us and iHeart Esports and tweet at us. Give you a chance to win some sweet prizes and all that great awesomeness. So other than that, let's go ahead and jump right into some news. So it's talking about IPL 4. Let's go ahead and start off with that one. There were two events, actually technically three events that happened at IPL 4 this weekend. We had StarCraft 2, the actual IPL competition. We had the GSTL finals, and we had League of Legends competition. So all of it was pretty awesome, I'm not going to lie. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with StarCraft 2. Which the storylines alone with StarCraft 2 were amazing. So we have Scarlet, which came through the open bracket, did really well, took some games off some big pros, making some waves, especially as a female player. And then you also have Squirtle, which came from the open bracket into pool play and actually ended up in the playoff bracket. So we had a Leenox story in the making. So... unfortunately, there were some big-name players. There were a lot of big-name players. But, for instance, we had Idra not doing too well. Again, White Ra not making it out, not doing too great. But regardless, there was some good StarCraft play, and it was really awesome. So, in the semifinals, we had Mr. Squirtle and Ness T meet up once again, whereas, if you remembered earlier in the bracket, Squirtle was actually knocked out by Ness T into the loser's bracket in round 1. So this was a grudge match. Squirtle had to fight his way all the way through the entire loser's bracket. And I do have to say, I kind of felt sorry for Ness T because he was really fatigued. He'd been playing all day. He just got done losing to Alive, who had made his way to the finals after winning against Ness T. And you could tell he just really wasn't playing at his maximum capacity. And to add on top of that, probably the longest pause in StarCraft esports history occurred after Ness T ran into some problems in the final game where his mouse and keyboard kind of messed up. IPL, did some giveaways and stuff on stage while they were sorting it out, and they eventually had to do a regame. The game didn't get to that far in, but coming back, Squirrel just outplayed Ness T in the end. But it was 3-2 in the semifinals. And moving on to the finals, Squirtle had to reset the bracket, and it's a really, really tough road to go. And so Alive won the first 2 games, and everyone thought, oh, well, this is over.
It was a quick series. It's done.
But Squirtle won the next 3 games in a row, and then lost the next 3 games, giving it to Alive.
You got to give credit where credit is due, though.
Do.
This was at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
Sunday. I mean, for everybody that was up watching it, it was obviously captivating enough to watch it,
Right.
to see from a 2-0 deficit come back to reset the bracket.
It was insane.
To play another series of games, so you got to give credit where credit is due. And it's funny because we were talking about this before the show. I actually took some StarCraft 2 notes because I'm usually not the StarCraft 2 guy, but we will discuss that later. Maybe I'll send out a tweet.
Maybe I'm gonna videotape Mike giving his notes,
trying to explain the game.
StarCraft
it was like 3 a.m. in the morning, and
Mike's like Alive, moving all buildings across the map. I don't even know. It was insane. Anyways, so congratulations to Alive and Squirrel for doing so well. It was really cool to see Squirrel do well because he won a lot of he's won smaller tournaments here and there. This is the first time he's actually kind of really won like a huge tournament. Mm-hmm. He's done some stuff in the GSTL. I think he had an all kill at one point in time. So it's not like he's new to the game, but it was just really cool to see him get so far. But moving on to the GSTL, we have Prime versus StarTale. So they did their event in Las Vegas in conjunction with the IPL4, and those were really cool games to watch as well. There was some lag issues as always, with everyone freaking out and screaming "We want LAN" and going back and forth, and it was actually kind of controversial because IPL came out like, oh, like LAN wouldn't have fixed this, and everyone's like, okay, all right, whatever you say, but. So going on is 5-2 in Prime's favor. Mr. Marine King finished out the series winning. He took out Parting, Bomber, Squirtle, and Curious, and those are not names to throw around. Like those are some serious names in the StarCraft world. So Marine King, I think, is going to be a player to watch out for from here on out, especially with his performances at MLG. And now at the GSTL, so I would not be surprised to see him do really well in the upcoming tournaments. So.
Do you know my nickname for him?
Who or what?
For me, Marine King Prime.
What's his nickname?
CBD. Cute but deadly.
All right, I like it. I'm not gonna lie, he's a cute little Asian guy. I'm not gonna lie. So moving on to League of Legends.
that would be a good hashtag. Cute little Asian guy.
Cute little Asian guy.
But we'll pass on that one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we'll pass on that one.
No.
I think.
Okay.
I don't want to know embarrassing, outings or anything. So. Anyway,
League of Legends. Moving on to League of Legends, which is also a huge tournament that went on. The people at IPL couldn't have asked for a better finals, with CLG going against TSM. That would be Counterlogic versus Team Solo Mid, which are two of the top really teams in the entire world of League of Legends esports. CLG was actually coming over from Korea. They've been playing in a tournament over there for the last couple months. They're actually back in Korea already. I was watching Hotshot.GG stream today. So let's go ahead and take a look at the results. We have Team Solo Mid, number 1, with CLG, number 2, and rounding out the number 3-1 Dignitas. So congratulations to TSM. It was well-deserved. It was really nice to see. Everyone gives Dyrus a lot of really, like, hey, you've never really done anything for the esports side of things, and he's never really been on a huge team before, and hey, they won IPL4 with him. So maybe people will start taking it more seriously. But congratulations to those guys. Cool, awesome, super happy, fun event. I wish I could have went, but oh well. Maybe IPL 5, we'll see how that goes.
You can get some strobes in your face.
Be sweet.
From the main stage.
Was it DJ Wheat was like, I think it was DJ Wheat. He's like,
I think it was Sir
I'm glad
Scoots.
I don't, or no, Sir Scoots. He's like, I'm glad I don't have epilepsy because I would die.
A lot of showmanship at the IPL.
But another big event that happened this weekend was the Copenhagen Games, which was a throwback event with some nice, good old-fashioned, back-in-the-day esports games.
Now, there was actually a lot of... Basically, what I would say is the Copenhagen Games actually became the main crutch for Counter-Strike. Because you not only had Counter-Strike 1.6, you had Counter-Strike Source, but they also did the Sound Blaster Counter-Strike Global Offensive show matches, which is the first time that we actually got to see Counter-Strike Go in an actual tournament format. So they actually had 8 teams invited, and those 8 teams there were 4 1.6 teams and 4 Counter-Strike Source teams, all very well-known teams that actually competed, and they structured the tournament so that way in the first round, a 1.6 team would play a Source team, because that's the whole thing with Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It's supposed to bring the 2 communities together. It's supposed to be the new competitive format.
Right.
Before I actually go into the results, I would like to say that I feel that this is a very interesting aspect. Having myself been very, very enriched and inside of the competitive LAN scene, with here in the United States with different LAN parties and things like that, the Copenhagen Games really started out, it was like a grassroots effort. And its forefront is that it is a LAN party, and anybody that attends can play in these competitions. So through its growth, it's become this kind of beacon for, leisurely come out and hang out with your friends LAN party, but that at the same time, features some really, really competitive tournaments. And in my opinion, kind of the way that they formatted the 2012 event is that it's kind of like the World Cyber Games. I know that I said that Counter-Strike was like the main game there, but they did a bunch of other games, as we'll get into the results. So
kind of reminds me of DreamHack too.
Yeah,
because DreamHack has a lot of bring your own computer events, just like this event did.
Right.
So
let's jump right in. We'll get right into the results. We'll actually start with the good old standby, Counter-Strike 1.6, which since the ESL IEM event, which was technically, it was a month ago.
Right.
I know a lot of people that have actually been itching for some Counter-Strike 1.6 action coming off of that event, and this one did not disappoint. As we will go into the final results here, we had the number 1 team, Fnatic, took first. We had number 2 was Na'Vi, and then third place you had was Winkfact. But the biggest storyline is actually SK Gaming was placed it was 5-6. So they technically they broke the top 5, but actually didn't do as well as a lot of people suspected. But the bigger storyline, ESC Gaming, who won the ESL IEM Season 6, as you remember, against Na'Vi and a dramatic faction, actually came in the 9th to 12th placing, tied with 3 other teams. So heavily favored to come in and defend their title as 1.6 team to watch out for, didn't do so well.
Not so much.
So big ups to Fnatic for coming back out and, sweeping some games and proving that they're still a good team and that the 1.6 community is still here to compete. Now, that being said, Counter-Strike Source actually had a lot more teams show up. So, because it was BYOC, they actually had a lot more teams show up, but going into those results, you had Mouse Sports was number 1, Team Alternate Attacks was number 2, and third place was Epsilon. So, all very big names. Once again, another very good tournament. But as you see, some of those names actually competed in the Sound Blaster Counter-Strike Global Offensive Tournament, which actually kicked off the event. It started on Wednesday, and that was kind of like the opening ceremonies as they did the Counter-Strike Global Offensive Tournament. And for that, we talked about SK not placing as well in 1.6. SK actually took the first place for the Counter-Strike Global Offensive Tournament. After them, you had ESC. And then the third place match was actually, because it was a single elimination tournament, it was a tie, but we'll just say everybody had a good time. Everybody below that.
Everyone below that got third
The remaining
place.
6 teams got third place. For coming out and competing.
it was just, like you said, it was a simple, let's do this tournament.
Right.
No hassle on who got third or whatever. So.
Yeah. This is very good. I'm very excited for this because we'll actually get to see, I feel like this is kind of the precursor, and we'll get to see more events like this going forward. Maybe structured in the same line. Maybe we'll have like an entire 1.6 tournament where 1.6 teams play Counter-Strike Global Offensive or Source teams and vice versa. So that was very exciting going through that. But then, as I said, there were also there are other games being played. I will mention this. I will say this right here and now. There was a Battlefield 3 tournament for the PC. And as you recall, we mention every now and then there's some news like ESL playing it in their Pro Series and things like that. It didn't get a lot of coverage.
If you go on their site, there's literally...
They didn't post any brackets or anything. So there was a BYOC tournament, and I remember hearing some murmurs about teams actually supporting and actually, last second putting a team together, but...
Just keep an eye out on the Copenhagen website because I'm sure there'll be results eventually.
Yeah. So that rounds out all of the FPS news. And then going into the next game, we had StarCraft 2, which obviously there was a lot of focus on IPL, but still there were some top European teams, or European players, I should say, because that is a 1v1 game. It's not the GSTL.
Right.
But anyway, going into that, we have the top 3. We have Kaz, took
the Emperor
first. We have Wellmew, took second. And Ciaplo took third. So very good to that. And that was another one. They actually did a BYOC and a non-BYOC tournament. So that was cool as well. So everybody else who came in and attended the LAN party got to play in their own StarCraft 2 tournament alongside with some of the pros. So that was great to see. And then last but not least, we have League of Legends, which again, IPL kind of took some of the storm away from it, but we did have some more European teams show up. So top 3 for that, we have Link Gaming took first, Shark Gaming took second, and the third, probably the best team name out of everybody, was the International Lunatics. Took third place, League of Legends. There is, I've completed, there's a recap on the site, and it talks a little bit more about hopefully the future of some more of these grassroots kind of events popping up, because I think that's the biggest thing is there are a lot of fans out there that have never actually competed at a tournament or maybe don't have a test of their skills at a tournament atmosphere. So great job to the Copenhagen guys, everybody that competed, attended, watched, and definitely an event to look out for.
Indeed.
Going forward. Talking about some other grassroots kind of events going on. We had the European Gaming League. This is their 5th event, and it was in Liverpool over in the UK. Into this...
Isn't it Blackpool?
Blackpool. I think you're right.
Anyways.
Black Liverpool.
Something like that.
It's all the same. Anyway, so we moved from the main focused event featuring PC gaming into this was the major console gaming event. And I have to say that I got very giddy going into it. Because, right now, the MLG is kind of iffy about, the return of Halo. Call of Duty is pretty much, it's pretty much been counted out. And then Gears of War 3, we haven't really seen a whole lot of activity. Yeah, so this was actually a big event because they featured not only Halo Reach, they not only featured Gears of War 3, but they featured Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 on both the 360 and the PS3. So side-by-side tournaments. I was very happy to see that. No large-scale event had ever attempted to tackle that before, and they got a lot of teams for each, respectively.
Wasn't this the largest Modern Warfare 3 tournament? Like one of the largest ones ever done, I think?
I would say at least LAN, yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and we'll jump right into it. The biggest storyline was actually that North America actually had some teams show up. So some of those former MLG teams or current MLG teams.
Let me just say this, all right?
We
talked about this earlier.
I know what you're going to say.
North American PC teams across the board. I'm sorry for those of you North American teams out there that I'm going to say this about, but we cannot win anywhere. We always lose to Koreans, or we lose foreigner like Stefano. Beats if it's not a Korean, it's Stefano or whatever. But get off our console shit. We'll kick your ass. That's all I have to say about
As a representative from the Team 3D days, I'm sorry. USA used to kick ass.
Oh, my gosh. You don't mess with us with our Modern Warfare 3 Halo Reach. That's all I got to say. We do work. Our 12-year-old army cussing out your mom is going to kick your ass.
They all look like Justin Bieber with their Astros. They're coming over.
Oh, my God.
We're coming over in force. But anyway.
Started. Onward with the results.
For serious, let's jump right into probably one of the most watched events was actually the grand finals that they saved for the very last. Modern Warfare 3 on the Xbox 360. And as you know, Apex actually bought or acquired the Optic Gaming Pro team with Scump and some of the other pros on there and actually acquired them. So they had a lot of pressure actually coming in to perform because now that they have a European sponsor and because now they're kind of it's funny because it got related to like when the NBA had their lockout. Call of Duty has a lockout right now in North America because there's no MLG, so they traveled international. Yeah. So that being said, we'll get into the final results here because as you can see, Apex North America, which was formerly Optic Gaming Pro, actually took place.
USA.
They not only took first place, but they only dropped one map in the entire tournament. One map. Second place.
That's what I say. Get off our shit.
Second place, you have Western Wolves, and third place, you have Prophecy. And so, obviously, in that aspect, North America came over and took the challenge and proved their worth.
Got to be Koreans for once.
Got to be.
Yes.
If you would like free stickers, tweet at BossFight TV and at iHeart Esports. #finally Korean.
Finally,
for Josh's love of console gaming.
You got to be Korean.
So that's hashtag finally Korean for some awesome stickers featuring Koreans. Possibly.
A lot of them do have Koreans on.
Yeah.
If I do say so myself.
That
Get a White Ross sticker if you want.
Yeah, you can get a whole bunch of stickers. But anyway, like I said, tweeted us, got the code on the screen there, and that's on that noise.
Moving on to
the PS3 Modern Warfare 3. As you know, BossFight is nothing new to the European console scene, as we have covered the Reflex GT. And as previously with the PS3 Modern Warfare 3 tournament, there was a lot of predictions going into it, and I would like to say that I was actually right in taking first place. It was Roughnecks, who actually previously won the Reflex GT and did it in stunning fashion. So final results, first place Roughnecks, second place was Nova, and third place was Infinius, or Infinsis.
I don't know. What's up with you guys making weird team names? That's all I got to say.
All right.
Why can't you be like, what was that one? The Mullet Brigade or whatever it was?
Captain Nerd.
Oh, man.
Baller Mullet team.
But
anyway,
the other North American team over in Halo Reach.
Halo Reach. Apex straight ripping, which, go ahead. We'll throw up. You can see the results there. Apex, this is actually a huge event for them. They came out in full force. So first place, we have Apex straight ripping. Second place, we have Apex Devastation. And third place, we have Western Wolves, who also did, some representing. Out
of all the teams that signed up, like me coming from the Halo side of things and everything, and recognizing and knowing who's on what team, if I was a betting man, I would have put my money on those three teams being in the top three. Honestly, it was really awesome to see Straight Rippin' take the win. I was rooting for them the whole entire weekend. I know those guys have been working their asses off, like before MLG and through MLG and then up until this event. So they're really psyched. We're actually in the talks. We're going to get some interviews with them, like post-tournament interviews, and see what their impressions were about the event and everything. So that should be coming up soon. I know they're actually all still over there in Europe right now, probably lounging out, enjoying their victory. So, but good stuff indeed.
Yeah.
So, and then also on top of Halo Reach, we had the Gears of War 3 competition. So, if we want to move into Gears of War 3, we have Apex Afterlife with Imperial at number 2 and Decisive number 3. So,
and I have to say, since the Hyperfestation 2 event, I'm actually really, really enjoying competitive Gears of War 3. I was kind of oblivious before. I mean, I watched it that season that MLG had picked up Gears, but Gears of War 3 is actually, that's what happens when a developer is focused on the community and wants to propel esports. I mean, because just spectating it is phenomenal. I love the map overviews. I love all the camera angles, and it's just the ease of the spectators moving through it. Yeah. We won't even talk about Halo 4 just yet.
Nope.
We'll skip on that. Yeah, until things are finalized. But it's funny. You know what? I actually had somebody ask me today what console tournaments happened this weekend. And I was like, well, EGL happened. They're like, what? There weren't any fighting games? I was like, I was kind of they're not really.
You mean at EGL?
No, I meant like you don't really always, like, I always think of fighting games as their own separate thing, like fighting game events. But speaking of which, we had the Texas Showdown Championships. And Josh, I know that you had watched a little bit. I will say that for people who were watching, first off, big props to everybody who helped run the event, or people actually, doing the stream or competing or whatever it was, supporting esports, whatever capacity you do. I say it every week. But there were some issues. I think they were literally, when they tested the internet connection, it was 56K. So there were some issues with streaming, and may not be any VODs, but nonetheless,
it was all right. It was watchable.
Yeah,
I watched some AE going in there, which actually, talking about AE. First off, it was a really, really good precursor to this weekend, which we'll talk about at the end of this episode. Power Up coming up, but let's take a look at Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition 2012. Did I do it all right, Mike?
You forgot the version, but you're
version
okay.
2012. Whatever.
Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition version 2012.
Anyways, so first place we have Ricky Ortiz, followed on by John Choi and Mike Ross.
What?
Rounding out number 3.
I thought that guy was a fake.
Apparently he was, but not anymore. He's legit. He's legit. Moving on to the other Street Fighter, we have Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Ricky Ortiz again, and Mike Ross #2.
Yep.
He's proven it, man. He's proven himself. Then we have Nightmare SF for #3. And let's talk about some Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom. We have Mai A.B. Young Chow and Jan Del Rio. And then we had Mortal Kombat 9, Mike.
Mortal Kombat 9, which is getting a little more hype after MLG. It's kind of died down a little bit, but as it has been announced by Mr. Adam Apicella, there will be a spring arena for fighting games featuring Mortal Kombat 9. So keep an eye out on all of the EVO events and also all of the things that are going on with Mortal Kombat. With that being said, let's get into the final results. We had first place with FCP Showtime. #2 was Cat. And #3 was P-Board Player. So very exciting. Also talking about MLG, possible spring fighting game arena, King of Fighters 13. So keep an eye out on these players. Top 3 finishers, we have OAR Ralph Stryker. #2 was Tofu Soup. And #3 was Neo. So very good stuff. And then certainly last but not least, Soul Calibur 5. 2 words, Nightmare. You'll understand why in a second. Top 3 finishers are King Ace. #2 was Devil Jim, and #3 was C Money. And King Ace actually took the event by playing Nightmare. So the 1.02 patch was supposed to balance a lot of things. Matter of fact, give some props to 8-Way Run, who actually sat down and actually went through the entire patch and said, this is what's different, all of the debugs and everything like that. But Nightmare is still the character to play, evidently. I mean, Kiev won. MLG Columbus won the Winter Arena with Nightmare and is obviously one of the top. He's been playing Nightmare forever. So if you want to be competitive, maybe look into that Nightmare, because it seems like he's not going anywhere.
Indeed.
Yep. And then, as we mentioned, Josh mentioned a little bit previously, this weekend, for those of you who are unaware, the Power Up Fighting Game Championships 2012 taking place in good old Cincinnati, Ohio at Arcade Legacy. We will be there.
Indeed.
BossFight TV. We are not only sponsoring the event, but we will also the official, quote that, official media coverage partner.
Indeed.
So we're looking into some different, obviously we'll do like player interviews, different, catch-ups on the tournament and things like that. But we're also planning a secret event on Friday that would be,
be on the lookout.
Very, very interesting.
You know what? Why don't we just say?
Go ahead.
Because we've mentioned a couple episodes.
Go ahead.
So that's all you, man.
Oh, okay.
Well,
if you recall, in the very inception of Boss Fight, we used to do a show on Sunday nights called Is It Competitive? And the very first game that we did to actually, get in there and really play it and theorize about its competitiveness as a future esport, we played the game Windjammers, which, if you've never seen Windjammers, it's basically Pong meets Street Fighter. Very good, very entertaining game, very easy to pick up, very hard to master. And those are, the things that you look for in a game.
Right.
Well, for those of you who don't know, the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, and Southern Indiana area is actually the new hub for Windjammers.
Since last year.
Competitive Windjammers. We have trophies. We have T-shirts. We have everything. So what we're actually...
it all started last year at Power Up with PR Balrog versus Justin Wong.
This is the mystery game tournament. They played Battleship.
And they were like, F this.
Justin Wong was like, reset, new game. And so Windjammers became it. You can see that video is out there. There's very good stuff, but we're actually going to do a Arcade Legacy versus the World Windjammers tournament. We're calling you out, World. So
we're going to be talking to all sorts of professional players that have made the trip out to Cincinnati. I know Justin Wong's coming, so we'll talk to him.
Keats.
Keats
plays Windjammers, like legit.
It's going to be legit, man. I'm not going to lie. So be on the lookout. What was the time slot on that one?
That will be Friday night. Let me pull out my
9?
handy dandy notebook. Hold on.
Sorry.
Flipping through. Friday starting at 6.
6. So be on the
6
lookout.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time, Team Spooky, if we can get it. Because the thing is, it's an old school Neo Geo game. So There is equipment there to stream it. We're gonna try our hardest. If not, we'll tape it and you'll be able to see the event. But be on the lookout. Team Spooky, 6 p.m. Eastern time.
And watch Power Up.
It's gonna be
Power
awesome.
Up's gonna be good. It's a road to Evo.
All weekend, every day. Team Spooky. It's gonna be sick.
I'll be out there hooting and hollering
Like a boss.
Josh, you're actually competing, aren't you?
I am. I'm competing. See, here you go. Most of the times, I'm just going to say this, not to call anyone out. I'm just saying, here's what's awesome, not to toot our own horns as BossFight TV, but here's what's awesome about us. We don't just go to events just to cover it. We don't go to events just to smooze around and talk to people or whatever. We play in them. Mm-hmm. So we have BossFight, official media outlet. So we're going to be interviewing, talking to people, doing videos, photos, all sorts of craziness, right? And an official sponsor. And we're playing in the tournament.
Competing. I still haven't figured. Like, you're going to play in Skullgirls?
and Street Fighter Cross
Tekken.
So, Skullgirls, I thought, unfortunately, I played on the Xbox. This is the first time in my entire life that I've ever, wanted to buy a game off of the Xbox Live Marketplace, on release day. So, apparently, everything comes out on PSN on Tuesdays, and then everything comes out on Xbox Live Arcade on Wednesdays. I didn't know that. So I wasn't waiting up for it, but I was up at the time, and I kept hitting refresh every once in a while just to see if it popped up, but it didn't. But Skullgirls, I'm going to play it. We'll see where it goes. My thought process behind it is if I practice it, maybe I'll do all right. But I'm also doing Street Fighter Cross Tekken as well, which I've been playing on off and on. But I figured if it was anything else, I'd just get raffle stomped. So
yeah, I contemplated probably Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I played Marvel there for a while, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and then when Ultimate came out, I kind of lost my way with it. But I'll probably
high-speed chase going by, folks. I just have to say that.
You know what? I'll probably just do some money matches for Primal Rage or Shaq Fu.
Do it.
We'll see how those go.
Justin Wong money match.
I won a Shaq Fu tournament at the arcade. Do you remember that?
AJ, oh, wait, you won one?
Yeah, I won one.
I thought you said you wanted one.
No, I won.
To AJ.
No, I won a Shaq Fu tournament.
SaveShaqFu.com.
SaveShaqFu.com. That's all we're going to say.
But anyways, without rambling on anymore, unless you have anything else, I think we're going to wrap this baby up.
I do. You know what? I will actually, last second, I want to give a shout out to the UGC, the United Gaming Clan, UGCLeague.com. They're actually starting their Season 8 of their Team Fortress 2 6v6 tournament. This is actually the second week. It's already started, but if you definitely want to get more into competitive Team Fortress 2, check out their site as well as CommunityFortress.com. So I'm trying. The scene is it's ready. It's primed and ready. We'll get there. It'll come back to its formal day. Vanilla TF2. Screw the hats.
No hats.
Screw the Dead Ringer. Screw the Sandman.
Oh man. All right. That's
it.
This is Josh Engel, also known as Anti-Pro, signing off, along with...
And I'm Mike Bisson, a.k.a. Mohawk Mike, thanking you for supporting esports, whatever capacity you do, and as always, thank you for considering.